Welcome back to another video. Just hit nice little back day. It's 6:40 p.m. and I'm about to whip up this quick dinner. This is my go-to meal after I train. It's absolutely delicious, never gets old, has a ton of micronutrients. We're gonna start with the rice. So just rinse this out. You know, wanna wash the rice, get all the bullshit out of there until it's nice and clear. Because rice gets dirty and that's not good. So I just use apple cider vinegar. I throw a splash in there and then let that sit for like 10 minutes and then boom. So cup of rice right here. Going to toss in, where's the measuring cup? Oh, here it is. Gonna toss in 2 cups of water, and then I'm gonna let that cook while I am cooking up everything else. So, right here, it's very, very simple meal. We got the rice, we got some ground beef, and then we're gonna use probably two. We'll do 2 pasteurized eggs. I already know, gotta get the pasteurized ones. And then an avocado. And this meal is so good. I'll show you how I cook the eggs. I cook them sunny side up just to make that yolk flow. And then it creates a super nice flavor. So for the rice, it's pretty simple. I'll just throw in butter. I used to not salt it, but I used to not season it, and it was not as good. So I'll just throw in butter, salt, pepper, maybe a couple other seasonings, and then let that cook through. I also just like making the rice. I like making a bunch at once just so I can save it. Meal prep makes it super convenient for the next couple of days. So I'll do a lot at once. And I eat mostly ground beef, especially after I train. I like having the eggs, more eggs earlier in the day, and then the ground beef late at night. I don't know why, that's just my personal preference. I feel like the ground beef tastes a lot better for dinner than it does for breakfast. Well, eggs are more of a breakfast food anyway. So let's see, what else can I throw in? Probably throw in like some onion powder in here. I'll just play around with the seasonings. I would do garlic powder, but don't have any right now. So mix that up, toss that on there, and then we'll let that cook. And then usually that gets done at the same time this does. So obviously, you know, we got to eat the ground beef. It's a lot easier to make than chicken, and I like doing fish every once in a while, salmon, shrimp, but it's not as easy to cook as ground beef. Ground beef, so easy. Literally just toss it in the pan, boom, done in 5 minutes. Easiest thing to cook literally ever, so that's why I like it so much. And just get a nice big bowl for this. Just get a nice big bowl for this and toss everything in the bowl. And the nice thing about this meal is that we're getting in literally everything. We're getting in the rice, the carbohydrates right after the workout to replace the glycogen, and then we're getting a ton of protein from the eggs and the ground beef, obviously a ton of micronutrients, tons of cholesterol, all that good stuff. And then the avocado is just going to give us magnesium, potassium, some healthy fats, some more good stuff all around. Avocados are one of the healthiest foods literally ever. Actually, the top 3 foods with the most micronutrients: eggs, ground beef, avocados. So can't go wrong with this meal. And the combination, actually I'll put this in after, the combination of those 4 foods combined does not get better. Does not get better. So I like to kind of season up this ground beef with just random stuff. Honestly, I'll throw in like salt, pepper, paprika, garlic powder, onion powder. I mean, people overcomplicate it when it comes to seasonings. It's all just about, I used to think, oh, what seasoning do I use? And, look up some seasoning recipe. But honestly, it's just trial and error and just figuring out what you like. And at the end of the day, it's all going to taste good. It does not matter what seasonings you put in there. And honestly, with this meal, it tastes so good. You can just do like salt and nothing else, to be honest. So, boom. I'll toss this in here. I'm gonna press that down. Especially after I've trained, like if I've had a big day of training, this meal hits the spot even more, and I'll just throw in even more rice just to replace all of the carbs that my body has burned throughout the day. And also make this with potatoes sometimes. If I'm trying to cut or lose weight, potatoes are going to be a lot less calories, a lot more satiating, and a lot easier to digest than rice is. But honestly, this tastes a lot better with rice. So I'm gonna let this heat up. As you can see, got the ground beef right here. Just gonna let this heat up and kind of get it just on this, keep it on one side for a while so it creates a crust on the bottom, and then that is going to give it a ton of flavor. And I'll throw in, let's see, this is exactly my thought process. So always starting off with the salt. Wait, let me put a little bit more. Always just start it off with the salt. Just toss in a bunch of salt on there. Can never be shy with the salt, especially if you just hit a hard workout. You're gonna be losing a ton of sodium, gonna be sweating a lot. Need to replace that in the form of some high quality sea salt. So then I will toss in some pepper, and then now let's see. I like using cumin on my ground beef. Like, I don't even know what this is. Basil, thyme, rosemary, parsley. Like, sure, I'll throw this in. But with this one, with the herbs, oregano, parsley, you want to throw them in later or close to the end so that they don't burn. But everything else, good to go to throw in whenever you feel like it. So, toss in some onion powder here too. And then boom. And this meal is literally so easy. It's probably the easiest thing ever to cook. I mean, it takes basically no cooking. Just toss that on there, throw some seasonings on. This is exactly the first meal I ever learned to cook, was just ground beef. So it doesn't get better than that. Sometimes too, I really like sweet potatoes, not even just normal potatoes, but sweet potatoes taste immaculate, and they're really high in micronutrients. And then toss in some chili powder too, or some cayenne pepper, just to give it a nice little kick. Can't go wrong with that. Paprika is good too. I don't have any right now. And the good thing about this meal is that it has a ton of protein. Obviously, has around 100 grams of protein. So especially if you haven't had time to eat throughout the day, or it's just dinner and you're really hungry from the working out you've been doing, whatever it is, this meal is going to get you right. There's a ton of healthy fats in there to help regulate the hormones. Got avocados, the eggs, the beef, all that. So it's just a really well-balanced meal all around. So let's see, we started a little bit here. Like I said, I kind of just like to let that sit and cook on one side. That's going to be really important for bringing out a ton of flavor. So, ground beef. Oh, look at that. Look at that. That is exactly what we want. Look, we got that nice crust that we're looking for right there. That's going to bring out a ton of flavor. And smells really good too. So from there, I'll kind of mash that up into bigger pieces, and then let the rest of that cook through. And just like that, the ground beef is almost pretty much done. So I'm going to toss that into the bowl. I'm going to toss that into the bowl. And then around this same time, the the rice should be ready. But first, going to cook up those eggs. So I'll toss in a little bit of butter in there, and then I'm gonna turn that heat down. So probably turn the heat down right here. Let's go. Turn the heat down to low. Toss in the butter. There we go. Rice is done, so it all comes out pretty much perfectly. And then let's get this eggs going, and then I just do sunny side up. Oh, look at those, nice and orange. And then I'll just do sunny side up for these eggs. Cook them. Boom. Okay. And then, like I said, I'll meal prep some of this rice. I'll save it for the next couple of days. So I'll just put a good amount into here. Maybe half. Probably like 2 big spoonfuls, I'd say. Just that much, boom, and then the rest in there. And then for the eggs, all I do is just salt and pepper on there. A little bit of salt, a little bit of pepper. Look at those Johns. Look at those. Nice. And I'll toss this into the fridge. And then what I like to do also at the end, right as I'm finishing up the eggs, is to just throw a lid on there. And this helps the tops cook a little bit quicker. So just a quick little hack to make it that much quicker and that much better, so that the top, because otherwise if you don't throw a lid on there, the bottom gets burned and then the top is uncooked. So to ensure that it's even, I like to just throw a little lid on there for about a minute or so. Those eggs are done. Going to just toss them in here. All right, there we go. Oh my gosh, I broke the yolk. Oh well, it's all good. Gonna get these avocados on here. Boom. Oh man, this is already looking really good. This is already looking really good. And then I'm gonna top this all off with some more sea salt. And why don't we, for fun, throw on some parsley? It's all just experimentation. Boom, a little bit of parsley just to make it look that much better. And then boom, we're good to go. Look at that. So easy. And this is going to taste absolutely delicious. I mean, look at that. Wow. Pound of ground beef in there. All right, so we're out here on the deck getting a little bit of sunlight, even though it's later in the day. And a lot of people will ask, "Oh, you actually eat healthy? You actually enjoy eating healthy?" It's like, how could you not enjoy this? I mean, this is just so good. This is miles better than any of the other crap that you can order when you eat out. Like, for example, today, for the marketing company that I work for, we went out to a restaurant, and I don't really work for them. I'm kind of contractor. But anyway, we went out to a restaurant, and it was like this fish restaurant. Like, everything was fried. It was just like they were spraying oil everywhere. The kitchen was all dirty, and it's just like, after seeing that, kind of working in a restaurant, it's like, is it really like worth to pay $20 for a meal just for the convenience? Like, I enjoy eating at home so much more. And don't get me wrong though, I love nice restaurants, but it was just like a daily thing, like Chick-fil-A, like something on the normal price range, not really worth it to me. Because this right here, I mean, for a little price breakdown, let's see, avocado is about $2. I will say the avocado is very expensive. Probably you can use half an avocado here. A whole avocado is unnecessary, but I'm unnecessary. I like to eat a ton of food. So we got avocado, $2, 2 eggs, rounded up to $1, I guess, with these prices, but that's pretty high. And then the ground beef, $6. You can get it at Costco for pretty cheap. So $6, and then the rice, I don't even know if I should include that. It's like 20 cents. So total of like $9, maybe $9.50 for this meal, which is actually so cheap when I think about it, because the amount of food that I'm getting, this is literally like 2 pounds of food. I mean, maybe not, but it's a lot of food. And this fills you up. This has 100 grams of protein, all the micronutrients. Like if I were to eat one meal a day, it would definitely be this meal, maybe with a few more eggs. And so because of that, $10 for a meal like this is a really, really good option. So let's try this out. Get some of the egg yolk, get some of the avocado, the rice, ground beef. Oh my gosh, that's so good. That's actually so good. You can taste all this. I go crazy with the salt. I can taste all the seasonings that I put in there. I can taste the cumin a little bit. Can taste everything. Thing is, like when I first started cooking, I had no clue what to do with any of those seasonings. But once I started actually cooking more, experimenting, I learned that I can actually taste these seasonings after I've made the same thing 500 times. So cooking is all just about experimentation. And this camera is telling me that it is about to die. So that wraps up this video. Quick 100 grams of protein post-workout meal. Get the gains, get the cholesterol in, the testosterone boosting foods right here. Makes you feel absolutely amazing. So I'm going to eat this. I'll catch you boys in the next video. Stay active.